Hello, 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 hello. All right. So let me make sure I get this up. Got that up. This says day 9 and it's supposed to say day 10. Let me fix that before I start. Choose an image. All right. I think it's going to change automatically, but just in case it doesn't, let's do that. Let me make sure all my settings are good. I'm going live on TikTok right now, so I'm setting that. I apologize. I can't do the same thing. So, no, go live. Where is my? Let's do this. Let's go live. We are live on TikTok and on 2 YouTube channels. So let's see. Oh, look at that. I got the chat right here. That's pretty cool. All right, so let me make sure my microphone is good. Looks like it is. Camera looks good. Alert. Split view doesn't matter. Wide camera definitely not. I don't know how I sound on TikTok. I don't see the. All right, so it looks like the microphone is on. I don't need no sound effects. I got the. Okay, cool. If you hear any funky sounds, let me know. I think we're ready. I think it's time to start doing some drawing. Get that out of the way. Put this up here. I moved the pencils over. I moved my pencil box away from the mic, so hopefully it's not as annoying as I was told it was last week. Get my normal tools out. 6B and 4B only right now until I'm ready to start doing details. Then I'll pull out the 2B. That's good. Eraser and stump. All right. Let's go. Eraser. Okie dokie. Already got to get rid of a little bit of this before we start anything else. Rid of that. And we are ready. Ginger's World Adventures. How you doing? Welcome. All right. Let's see. We're doing a drawing of my father. How you doing, Lighty Dighty? That's the name. Hello, everybody. Welcome. All right. So where I left off on my last live is cleaning this area up over here. Was having issues because my image was, because the camera's kind of on an angle, I'm looking at it kind of on an angle. I had it too high, so I lowered it, put it in front of me so I can actually see it straight on. My reference is right here in front of me. I can see it. You guys can't see it, but I can see it. And that allows me to just to see better and judge what I'm doing better, because it was really bad. It was way off. And that's only because, like I said, I was looking at it at an angle. So now we can see it better. I can see it at a much better angle. And we're done cleaning all that up. Now we're going back to regular drawing. And I mean, it's all drawing, but regular drawing meaning trying to portray the image from the reference photo, because I was not able to properly do that before. My wife helped me align it a little bit better. So here we go. Back to the actual drawing. This bottom, what do you call the bottom? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everybody on TikTok. Hello, everybody on YouTube. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm bringing this. What do you call a lid? It's the one on the bottom. The lid would be the one on the top. All right, cool. So let's go. So obviously, I can already bring the light out on this image, or on the inside the eye here. Took me a while. I had to move the entire eye over. I had it way too low, and then I had it off to the side, and then I had the cheek too far in, because like I said, I was looking at it on an angle. So now that I'm more aligned, this is better. And I can get back to regular drawing, not correcting bad mistakes or ugly mistakes. Hello, you think too much? But this is where we're at now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. One thing I started doing when I started drawing this was just getting the contrasts down, not doing any actual detailing. I did a little bit, but I just wanted to get all the tones right, all the darks, all the lights. If you guys can share the live, please. That would be phenomenal. So now I'm just bringing out the contrast of the highs. I already got most of the lows down so that you can see a little bit more of the detail, or not detail, but the differences between the lights and the darks. That's probably all I'm going to be doing today, is using my eraser and getting those in there. If you can share the live, that would be phenomenal. This is only my second live on TikTok, so be nice, be kind. And since this is my first live on TikTok, I guess I can explain. This is my father who I'm drawing. I decided to do this kind of like a therapy type of thing, because he passed away a couple of months back. And I've drawn a lot of things. I've never drawn him. And like I said, it's kind of like a therapeutic thing. But it's not going to be the only thing I draw. Just right now, this is where I'm at. And this is something I need to do. Need to do it. But once I'm done with this, I'll still be doing other drawings. Whoops. I'll be doing other drawings. But for now, let's see. This is where we're at. I started this drawing a while back. Then I actually hurt my back. I had to stop for a while. And I just started back recently. Then TikTok said, okay, you can go live. I said, oh, okay. Well, let me go live on TikTok. Never did that before. So thank you all for joining. I appreciate everybody who's in here. Thank you for the gift. I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing. You pink too much. I appreciate that. Yeah, today's pretty much gonna be. Says my sound is disconnected. Can you hear me? It looks like it's not disconnected. I can see it moving. Should I ignore that? Press 1 if you can hear me. Please press 1 if you can hear me. Because it looks like it's working, but TikTok just said it ain't working. I don't know how that happens. Okay, perfect. So it just lied to me. TikTok just said it's not detected. But you wouldn't be able to hit 1 if you heard it. Or if you didn't. Like I said, so today I'm mostly going to be drawing with the eraser, though. It's getting rid of dark tones that I don't need anymore. It served its purpose. Now it's time to start bringing the highs back in. I'm using charcoal, by the way. And with charcoal, it's better to lay out a foundation of one tone and not use the paper white as your white. And it's better because when you start getting towards the end with your details, it no, that's not right. You start getting towards the end with your details, it's harder to manipulate something that's already white. So you want to go over it with shade of your charcoal and then bring the whites out. Plus, there's always white charcoal that I'll be using later on to highlight anything I need to highlight. Hello, everybody, for coming in. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Not cheating. This is not a charcoal. I know I said I wasn't going to use much charcoal, but this is a stump. So I'm smearing what I already put down. That's all that is. Okay, put those down. Thank you again for sharing the live. I appreciate it. Probably going to end up having to redo these bottom lips, so I'm not going to do any detail. I'm not going to do any erasing there today. I'm going to stick to where I'm at right now. Get this down. All right, so rule of thumb is the bottom part of the eye cannot be the same or as dark as your eyelid. I want to call it a bottom eyelid, but that doesn't really make sense. But maybe that is what it's called. Either way, I have to lighten this up. That's just a rule. It will not look realistic if you have. It'll look like mascara. Put it that way. And unless the person you're drawing has on mascara, it will not look good. So I learned a long time ago to get rid of that darkness if it's too dark. Still light. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming in. Hello, everybody. That's what I love about charcoal. You can just move, you can manipulate pretty much everything just by smearing it around. You can do that with paint also, but it's way more messy. I don't know. So all I'm doing right now is smoothing out the edges so it doesn't look so harsh. Unless the reference photo has that many harsh breaks between light and dark, you don't want to have your own. It's got to look like the reference. So I'm jumping around because, again, I'm only focusing on the highlights tonight. That's the goal, at least. A little bit darker. Thank you for the heart. You think too much. I appreciate that. Maybe I will do a little here. Nah, I'm gonna wait. Can't see the detail of what I'm doing very well. Looks like from that camera angle. Not camera angle, but from the lighting, maybe. I don't know. All the work I'm doing, you can't really see it. All right, we can go darker. I may actually have to use some charcoal. This needs to be darker. I can smear the rest of that. The reason why I have these outlines and I haven't really done anything with this is because he had a lot of grays, and I don't want to make it too dark or too light yet. Thank you for sharing the live. Um, because I'm not doing any detail yet. So I'm just kind of leaving it hollow, but I still need to know where it is. So I kind of just did an outline with the eyebrows and with the mustache. That's why it looks weird. Got two lines. One more. Hopefully they're not too loud in the microphone because the mic is actually closer to the drawing. You know what? I might use the charcoal again one more time. Let's see if I can get rid of this without using. Same rule of thumb as the eyes. The bottom lip should never be darker than the top lip. Even if it looks like that on the actual reference, you still want to make the bottom lip lighter. The top should always be dark. That's just what it is. Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, we'll do a little bit of highlighting. Gotta get rid of this. Definitely no line here. I've been wanting to do this for a few weeks now. Trying to get rid of that line. It's a harsh line that you can like see the lip. You shouldn't see that. You should just see an immediate tone change between the lip and then the skin right under. There's no lines on the human face. Even with the wrinkles, it's really more of a tone change. Goal to get rid of all of it. Can't see it on the screen, but I can see it. It's driving me crazy. I can see lines that shouldn't be there. If it looks like I'm not doing anything, I really am. You just can't see it. Much better. Much. So much more happy with this. I was really getting frustrated with it because it just wasn't looking like my father. And once I was able to fix this side, it just looks so much more like him, and I'm not as annoyed with it because I was really getting frustrated. Not quite to the point of destroying the whole thing and tearing it apart and just throwing it away and starting over, but I was getting there. There's more of the frustrated where you just leave it alone and stay away because you don't want to look at it. I was never to the point of throwing it away. Got close, but not that close. Not close enough to actually consider doing it and burning it. I probably wouldn't. I would have thrown it away. I've torn up many a drawings, getting frustrated with them. I didn't want to do that to this one. It would have felt weird. I stuck with it, saw what I needed to fix, and I fixed it. I'm glad. I really didn't want to start over. That's for sure. I want to do a contour. So I have some block charcoal to fill all this in really dark. I'm trying not to do that yet because it'll get really messy and it'll get everywhere. So I'm trying not to do that yet, but I also don't want to not have the outline ready. So I'm kind of halfway doing it. Everything out here and all the way around is going to be almost this dark. But like I said, if I get it up there now, it's going to get all over my hands. I'm going to smear it into my actual drawing, and it'll be a lot harder to work with. That's one of the last things I do. I was going to say one of the last things you do, but a lot of people work differently. It's usually one of the last things I do because I just don't like dealing with that mess. Because if you see, let me show how much it smears. When you have a lot of soft charcoal like that and you do something like this, it immediately smears. So you don't want it to be too messy. Not this early, because I'm nowhere near done. So it's one of the last things I do. And then this ear is really interesting because I've never done ears like this before, but the reference drawing that I'm doing, that I'm using, has blurred ears, so I don't really have to do any detail on the ears. I'm just keeping the shape there. I keep accidentally erasing it because it's really not important, but it's pretty cool because I want to see. I've never done it before, so I want to see how it comes out. Thank you for sharing live. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Now the stump is just really, really, really tight wound paper. I'm not using that because that makes the charcoal stick to the paper hard. It pushes it into each groove. I don't remember what grade it is, but I don't want to do that yet either because if I have to move this in or out for any reason, it'll be much harder to get rid of it. So I'm just trying to get like a tone change, no lines. That's why I just smeared away the lines. And that's pretty much what I'm doing. Moonlight, how you doing? Over on YouTube. Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I got 85 people in here. That's pretty awesome. Welcome, welcome everybody from on TikTok. Appreciate everybody for stopping by. Share the live if you can. Share the live. Make that bang. And since I've done 99% of this live or this drawing on YouTube, I haven't done it on TikTok. I'll tell the story on TikTok really quick. When my father passed away, I already wanted to do this drawing, but like I was saying earlier, it's really therapeutic. But I hadn't seen him. We try to get to Chicago like twice a year, 2 to 3 times a year. And I almost didn't come out the last time But my wife was like, "You really need to go," because my sister had told he lived with my sister, and she told us all that, hey, it's not looking good. And he was getting sicker. So we decided I would come back out, or go back out to Chicago, even though we were there just a couple of months back, and I was able to be there that last day. That was really cool, really cool. My brother and I were able to travel and get to Chicago just in time that last night. Um, we were with him, so it was really cool. Like I said, this is really, really therapeutic for him. But if you ever if you live away from your parents and you get chances to go see them, go, because you never know when the last time it's going to be that you see them. Thank you guys, man. There's a lot of people joining. Thank you so much. Moonlight, that's awesome, 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 awesome. Send her to school. Send her to school. If she really loves to do it, there's so many more avenues than when I was coming up. Um, yeah, when I was coming up, either you're going to be an animator, you're going to do comics, or you're just going to be a starving artist who thinks they're too cool to make money. But what I was saying is, go see your parents. My brother and I were both hesitant, and finally, my wife was like, I got the tickets." So I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go." And then when I got there, like I said, we got to spend his last night with him, and that really, 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 really. I didn't realize how important that was because I wasn't there when my mom passed, and you just think about all the times you could have went, and you start feeling some kind of way about your own decision making. And yeah, I'm really glad I went, and I'm glad my brother went too because we both were able to go there. So dealing with it is much much different than dealing with when my mom passed because I was all the way in California, found out at work, um, left work, jumped right on a plane, headed to Chicago, and that was it. So it was really really different experience, and it felt good. Is not the proper word. It felt um, I don't know. It just felt different. There was zero guilt or anything like that. There was zero thinking about when I should have went, when I could have went, and I chose not to go, and why did I put work before, that kind of stuff. So, like I said, if you're near them in any way possible, go. If you're not near them in any way possible, figure out a way to go, and it gets rid of that whole whatever that is because it's not guilt. I don't know how to describe that. What's up, G? Will? How you doing, man? How you doing? Yeah. See, graphic design also moonlight. There's just a lot of avenues for artists. Now, when I was coming up, there was animation, comics, like I said. I went to school for computer animation, went to college, moved out to California. That's how I ended up all the way out there from Chicago. And it was a great, amazing experience. But something happened. This is around the time of Shrek. Maybe no, it was the after Shrek. I don't remember like the big film that was supposed to be coming out from DreamWorks Animation, and they just went to independent contractors. So they weren't hiring full time artists anymore, like storyboard artists or animators or whatever, modeling, any of that stuff. They weren't doing that on an individual basis. So what ended up happening is while I was at the Art Institute in Santa Monica, all my teachers were working at DreamWorks Animation, and they would get hired just for the specific project. Then they get let go. Then they get hired. Then they get let go. So it went from me having teachers and having prospects of doing animation with a major studio like DreamWorks Animation to being in competition with my teachers who were already in the field. So work became much, much more difficult in that field. So I kind of just went away and ended up doing business, staying in that field forever to this day. It says you hang your drawings since you just speaks and hanger drawing. Oh, hold on, I'm missing something. Transition. Yeah, a lot of transitions. Yeah, I've had to deal with a lot of that, a lot. But the parents are the hardest, obviously. Thank God I didn't have to deal with it with any children, but that's something I will. Oh my gosh, I can't even think about that. So yes, parents are going to be the more difficult ones for sure. Thank you guys over on TikTok for sharing a lot. That's amazing. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. So yeah, as soon as I got back, I decided I was going to do this drawing. As soon as I got back from Chicago, we went to the funeral. Shortly after that, got back and said, I'm going to do this drawing. My brother took this amazing high definition photo of him a few years back, and I was like, I want to use that photo. And obviously, he's not going to say no. He sent me a little bit higher res version of the photo, and that's what this is. I actually did start one similar to this because my brother did that photo shoot a few years back in Arizona, and I was doing a giant photo. I mean, it was massive, like 6 foot by 3.5 maybe. Um, but I wanted to do this on camera and start over because the other one I had already kind of started. I may post that one on YouTube. Yeah, I may do that. And Moonlight G will. I'm planning on only using the art channel for this stuff now. So if you could sub up over there, if you're interested, obviously, if you're interested in this kind of stuff, it's in my description, or no, it's not a description. It's on my profile on YouTube. If you're interested, if not, it's all good. But I don't want to screw with the algorithms that have this and then something else and then politics and then other stuff like that. I don't want to. I don't want to mix them. It's taken long enough to get where I am now on the main channel. So, what kind of artwork does your daughter do? Is it like portrait type of stuff, or does she like doing cartoonish stuff, like kids book type of stuff? I know you said she's early teen, so she's got a long time to think about what she really likes. The more classes for her, the better. It'll help her figure out which one she really likes. Because I was up to throughout high school, I thought I was going to just do this portrait art. Then when I started at a school called the American Academy of Art in Chicago, I decided I wanted to teach life drawing. Then when I got there was a visit at our school from some animators from DreamWorks Animation when they were still pretty new. They told me to come out, and I went out and I actually interviewed, and they're the ones who said come to Santa Monica. It'll be a really easy transition to go straight from there to here. And I wanted to do storyboards at that point. So artists change. We don't change our minds completely. We just change the way we want to express ourselves. And your daughter's going to change her mind probably 10 times on what kind of art she wants to do. I know a guy who could do portraits like I've never seen. Well, no, there's one person who I've seen who was better, and that's obviously subjective. But he was so good, and his life goal was to do children's books. I was like, man, dude, you should be doing this. And I'm sitting here telling an artist what he should be doing because that's what I would do with his talent. And he went into doing that. That's what he wanted to do. So your daughter will probably change her mind several times. She'll figure it out, though, especially if she's young. I think you said she's like teens. She's got 4 years of high school to go to. And she'll figure it out. Just try to support it. It's even if it feels like a waste of time, just support it anyway, because she may stumble onto what she really wants to do, even if you know she's not going to stick with this one. She may really genuinely stick with it or discover the thing that she really does want to do. So support it, support it, support it. Art is really important. It's been taken out of a lot of schools, and I think a lot of kids don't know how to express. If they're an artist, they don't know how else to express it. And for me, like I was just telling you guys, this is literally this is therapeutic. I don't have to do this. I'm doing this because I want to do this. And I haven't wanted to draw and it's been a pretty long time. This is something I wanted to do. And then once I started this, I'm like, nah, I'm gonna start doing this going forward. And I created this channel. I created uh, this TikTok thing. I created one on Twitch. I created another YouTube channel just so I can do this. And I forgot how much I missed it. I really, 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 really missed it. Because your mind doesn't think about anything else but what's directly in front of you. So when I say it's therapeutic, I literally mean you're not thinking about any kind of problems, anything. You're really not thinking about anything. And when I'm doing this, I'm literally looking at my father's face for hours and hours and hours. And that's therapeutic. It feels good. So all that to say, encourage her to keep going. And if she ever has like this kind of art in mind, and she ever has any questions, she can contact me, join one of these lives, and just have her ask away. Said you're on the art channel now. Oh, awesome! Thanks, man. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Gw. All right. But I was telling people before that there's new people in here. I'm really not using very much charcoal. I'm just changing tones and doing contrast. So you're literally only mostly seeing me use the stump, which is tight wound paper, and an eraser. And I have a kneaded eraser ready to go, but I haven't kneaded it yet. All this does is this is more for large areas. So like if I wanted to clean this whole area up, I wouldn't use this little eraser because one, it'll be too harsh, and two, it'll be really hard to keep even. So that's when you use a big kneaded eraser like this. You can make it as big as you want, and then that's the kind that you would dab, and it'll erase. It's almost like when you guys when ladies do their makeup and they're dabbing instead of just like smearing. It picks up very, very lightly. It doesn't pick up too harshly like this one would. Where? So yeah, so I'm only playing with contrast right now. I'm not doing much drawing. I've only done a few little patches of charcoal to get harder lines in. But even after these lines, I got rid of all the hard lines on this side. I may get into the eyebrows on the next slide. Let's see. I can't show my reference on TikTok. I can show it on YouTube, but I can't show it on TikTok. I don't want to stop the whole live to show the reference drawing. Not yet. I try to erase in the direction that the skin's supposed to be going. I don't know if it matters, but it feels like it matters. I've always felt like, okay, so if here's a perfect example. The nose is going like this. The skin is laying over this arch, right? So I've never understood when I see people erasing like this or erasing harsh like this. I'm like, all you're doing is creating something that is not following the flow of the skin. So I've always just, even when, I don't know if you guys noticed while I was doing this and I was smearing it, I follow the path that the skin would be going. It just helps. I don't know, like I said, well, correction, it helps me. I don't know if it really makes that big of a difference, but it definitely helps me feel like it's doing something different. It could be like a placebo effect where it just makes me feel better. Um, but that's, I've always done it. I've been doing that for 30 some odd years of drawing, and it's never steered me wrong. So I just do that. I think it's a good habit to keep. So if you're here from the beginning, you notice I erased those lines because there's no lines. There's no hard lines on the face. There are drastic tone changes, but there's no hard lines. So I erased the lines, and now I'm using the eraser to essentially make semi lines, and then I'm going to smear it away so that it's just a slight tone change. No lines. Lines are enemy in life drawing. Unless it's a contour line that's just there to highlight or accent. On the face, you should have no lines. It will not look real if there's no line. You just don't see lines. First time I learned that, I was like, you really don't see lines. Because I used to draw like the eyes would be lines, the nose would be lines, everything would be lines, and then I'd be done trying to figure out what's wrong. This is when I was really young. And which art teacher? One of my, Mr. Pedraza, an art teacher I had. I'll never forget his name because he actually said a lot of things that stuck, like that one. When's the last time you saw a man's face and you saw lines? Unless they're wrinkles, you're not going to see actual lines. Thank you, Jewel. I appreciate that, man. I'm trying. I've done a lot of work correcting mistakes. Wish I could play music. One thing I can't do because of social media is play music I want to play. I get copyrighted. That's too harsh. I gotta get rid of some. Way too harsh. That's why I love charcoal. See how I didn't have to do any real work. I just smear it till it gets to the contrast that I want. Yeah, that's not still not. It's got to be more on an angle like this. Made it too. It just wasn't right. Hello, everybody. If you're on TikTok, it would be amazing if you could share this. That would be awesome. Actually, YouTube too. That would be cool. Let's use some charcoal after all. Yeah, that's good. I'm getting ahead of myself, but I just every now and then I'm like, okay, let me do some detail. I'm gonna end up smearing it away anyway, but it keeps me motivated to keep going, so I can get an idea like, oh yeah, that's how it's supposed to look, and then I go back to smearing. But every now and then I want to see what my end result's gonna look like, and I do this kind of thing. And I don't know if you guys can see the detail, but this makes such a difference in an eye. It looks like you can kind of see it. It makes such a difference. And I literally only do this for myself, just so I can, like I said, see it and get a glimpse of what it's going to look like when I'm done. And it keeps me motivated to keep going. Because the longer it's smeared and semi-drawn, the longer it's like that, the longer it feels like the drawing's taken. So I'll do this, do some really cool details, and then it re-motivates me to keep going. Because at the end, this is going to look like this. And charcoal really is not meant. Oh, no, correction. I wouldn't even say that. I was going to say it's not meant for detail, but that's not true. That's not true at all. Yeah, that's good. We're done with that. As I was saying earlier, the bottom lid should never be as dark as the top. And usually, honestly, there's always a glare on the bottom eyelid anyway, from the wetness from your tears. From the wetness from your tears. Even if you're not crying, you'll see it if you really look. I know. I said I was going to do this. sharper one. Made it too dark. That's okay. I'm feeling good about this. Like I said, I wasn't like fully demoralized, but I wasn't happy with it. It wasn't horrible. It just wasn't what I wanted. We're getting to where I actually like it, and to where I wanted it to be. One line here, one line, harder line here, even harder line here. Hello, everybody who's joining. Thanks for stopping by. There we go. All right. I wasn't supposed to be using this much trouble, but I probably have to bring this in straighter right here. I don't want to do that right now. It's in a spot that it's not going to matter right now. I got to pick and choose. Maybe I can do this right now. Let's do this. to sharpen this again for the next live. White charcoal. This is how the beard's going. I don't think you guys can see the strands like I'm doing them. Yeah, this is looking. I like this. I'm liking where I'm at so far. And because it has been an hour, I'm going to get off for today. But I'm liking where we're at with the eyebrows. That's how the beard is going to look, or not the beard, but the mustache is going to look similar. I got my strands in there. I got the shape that I wanted, and it is accurate. I'm going to knock it down a little bit, and by that I just mean I'm going to dab at it with the heated eraser, so it's not so dark on the outside, because he was in his 80s, so he didn't have that much black. That's what I was talking about earlier with this eraser. You can tone things down just by dabbing instead of doing harsh erasing. And I can go back over with that white charcoal. But my time is up. I need to go eat. It's getting late. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. There was a lot of people who came up through on TikTok. First live, I didn't have that many people. I appreciate everyone who stopped in here. You guys are all awesome. Thank you for the people who shared. Genuinely appreciate that. And yeah, all I was doing was messing with tones today. I thank you all. YouTube, obviously, Moonlight, Gw. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I appreciate everyone. Thank you for being here with my therapy. I appreciate it. I really do. Let me move my. What did I do? Oh, what I just did. Let's see. It's making me do a puzzle thing just to close out the live. All right. Thank you guys. I appreciate you all. I am out. And then you guys over here, I appreciate you as well. Why can't I get to it? What is this? What is this? There it is. All right. Thanks, guys.